Hello, it's Paul here again. Welcome to my channel, Talking Music. Lovely to have your company. And today we're talking about this song here, Celine Dion, and My Heart Will Go On. Now, every singer wants a signature song, but when you think about it, not many of them have one. Celine Dion does, though. And she didn't want to sing it in the first place. She wanted nothing to do with it. In fact, the song My Heart Will Go On had a bit of a tricky start to life, but ended up being a huge song, affiliated to a huge film. The film feeding the song feeding the film, Titanic. The film itself was nominated for 14 Oscars, and it won 11 of them, including Best Original Song, Celine Dion and My Heart Will Go On. The leading players to this song were the composer, James Horner, James Cameron, the film's director and producer, and of course Celine Dion, and her husband and manager, René Angelou. The film, Titanic, starring Kate Winslet and Leonardo DiCaprio, was produced by 20th Century Fox and Paramount Studios, and they'd signed a record deal with Sony to create the soundtrack for this movie. James Horner was the music producer for the film and had written and produced the music, which intertwined the scenes from the film. But he also had the idea that the film should end with a big song which sort of brings together all of the incidental music that had already been used, sort of tying it all off nicely and neatly at the end. He ran this idea past James Cameron, who wasn't particularly keen. He said, "Why do we want a pop song at the end of an historically accurate tragedy?" He also went on to say, reportedly, "Would you have put a pop song at the end of Schindler's List?" Let's face it, he's got a point there, hasn't he? Sony Records, though, absolutely loved the idea, and so did Fox and Paramount, because it was additional marketing and create further synergy between the studios and the record company. So all James Horner had to do then was write the song and then convince James Cameron to use it. So good luck there, James. But that's exactly what he did. Along with lyricist Will Jennings, he then began to think about who could sing the song. Titanic, the film, was running over budget, taking longer than planned to film, and the buzz around the studios wasn't particularly favourable. In fact, some were calling it Cameron's folly. But with Cameron at the helm, there was still a great chance it would still be the Hollywood blockbuster that everyone expected it to be from the outset. So Horner was after a blockbuster voice. He had two in mind: Linda Ronstadt, who'd sung the main song from American Tales some years before, Somewhere Out There, and Celine Dion, who'd also sung in American Tale, Flevel Goes West, which Horner wrote, and thought she sounded absolutely beautiful on it. But that was the mid-80s, and now, some years on, 1996 this was, going into 1997, Celine Dion, although having some success behind her, didn't really have that real star quality of success. She was certainly considered a top singer, and she was known. But did she, he was asking himself, did she have that blockbuster appeal? So Horner, as the film's music producer, had to make a decision. He brought a piano sketch of the song to Simon Franklin, the film's co-producer, and said, "Do you think this will work with Celine Dion?" He had decided he wanted to support Celine's career. And remember, all of this was going on behind James Cameron's back. Just days later, Horner went to see Celine and René at Caesar's Palace in Vegas, a night that Celine remembers well.
It is a beautiful song, and I didn't want to do it. James Horner came. He came in Las Vegas, and we were staying at Caesar's Palace in a suite where there was a piano there. He wanted me to sing a song for a movie called Titanic. I didn't want to sing another song for a movie. I did not want to. I've sung a few ones before, and we kind of felt that it was going to be a little too much. Celine Dion singing another song for a movie again. And then he started to play, and James Horner is such a great guy. But for singing, he's not that great. And he was trying to play the song and sing here. And I was looking at René, and I don't want to do that song. So Renee was like trying to listen to James and was trying to look at me and like, he said, stop. He said, listen, right now you're not helping your son. No, you're not, stop right now. He said, we'll do something. Do a demo and Celine will put her voice on the demo and see how it sounds like.
Renee was always Celine's guiding light, and he told her that he thought Titanic was going to be huge and that this song would be the biggest of her career. So a couple of weeks later, Celine travelled to New York and laid down that demo for My Heart Will Go On. And she did it in one take. There at the studio at the time was Renee, James Horner, Polly Anthony, who was the president of Epic Records, Simon Franklin, the film's co-producer, and Tommy Mottola, president of Sony Music Entertainment.
It was just a demo. It was not a real actual recording. So I went there and I started to sing. He started to explain to me the movie a little bit. And I had tears in my eyes and I said, stop talking to me about the movie. I won't be able to sing. Oh, okay, let's go. And I started to sing the song. Everybody started to cry, and I got caught by the emotion as well, by the story of the movie and the whole thing. And the demo is actually the actual recording. So they built the orchestra around. I never re-sang the song after. I never re-sang it. Well, the demo is the actual record.
Simon Franklin said, from the very first near, far, wherever you are, everybody knew she could belt, but there was something about the delicacy. James Horner said he was going to speak to James Cameron, and Cameron was never one of those people who needed other people's opinions, and his view was, well, my movie's big enough, I don't really need this song at the end. But he got the song, and he could see how it could be interwoven with the rest of the music in the film. So he gave the go-ahead for a screening of Titanic in New York, with My Heart Will Go On edited into the film, and invited Celine and Renee. At the end of the film, James stood up and asked Celine, how do you feel about the movie? Celine held up her tissue. It was in tatters. She said she'd been weeping so much, and it was then that James not only got the song, but really got Celine Dion too. Cameron agreed now, with this song, the movie had something people could take home with them, which was a hugely positive factor, guaranteeing the film's completion. There are two versions of My Heart Will Go On. One appears at the end of the movie. The other is the more produced pop single for radio that won all of those awards in the following 18 months or so. This version, the lauded version, was produced by Walter Afanasieff, who said Celine did her vocals with him. So, who to believe? Celine, who said she only sang the song once, or Walter, who says, don't believe these one-take stories. Celine did her vocals with me. And Celine has said in past interviews she was very busy back then, and she may have forgotten one or two things. I think the best thing is really to listen to both versions. Listen to the single, then listen to the soundtrack version, and see if you can notice any difference in the vocals. The soundtrack demo version is more melancholic vocally, and the hit single version, the one that we're probably all much more familiar with and included in her Let's Talk About Love album, is altogether more polished, better produced and bigger in sound. And you can also hear in this better produced version the breaks and little cracks in her voice which are not there in the demo. So I think, from what I've just said then, you can see where I'm coming from. And what a hit it was! Number one all over the world. In February 1998, it entered the US charts straight in at number one. That doesn't happen very often. And it stayed there for 2 weeks. It did exactly the same in the UK, straight in at number one, and spent 2 weeks at the top of the charts in February and in March, selling 1.7 million copies in the UK alone, putting it at number 31 in the UK's all-time best-selling singles chart. And if we look at worldwide sales, you can see that it's at number 10 with 18 million records sold. Well, there's no doubt about the song helping the film, and looking at this chart here, there's no doubt about the film helping the song. That's what I call synergy. And there was the accolades, of course. The song won the 1998 Oscar for Best Song, and dominated the 1999 Grammys, winning Record of the Year, Song of the Year, Best Female Vocal Performance, and Best Song Written for Film or TV. It also won a Golden Globe for Best Original Song too. Its critical reception was diverse, a lot of good, bit of bad, lots of good with critics saying the song shines most brilliantly, and another saying it has one of the most glorious key changes in recorded music history. But along with the good comes the bad, some saying it's aged, like the film, badly, and another writing it is the second most tragic event ever to result from that fabled ocean liner. Ouch. But anything this special, anything this big is going to have its detractors. But Celine herself is not one of them. Admitting she hadn't wanted to sing it in the first place, she's joked now that it's a good job she always listens to others, particularly her husband René, and that she's so proud now to be forever associated with a classic that will live forever. I don't know about you, but I just can't imagine anyone else singing this song, can you? It's totally hers. That's Celine Dion and My Heart Will Go On. And that's it for another Talking Music. I do hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please subscribe to my channel. I'd love it if you did that. And also, if you've liked the video, please give it a like. That's it for now. We'll be back with another Talking Music video before too long, and I look forward to it then. But until then, bye-bye.